Well, my friends, it was quite the explosive day on La Palma yesterday going into today. La Palma has finally reached that 5.0 magnitude earthquake threshold, as early reports of the now biggest earthquake to take place on the island came in as a 5.2, downgraded to a 4.8, which makes today on La Palma the most important day we've had so far. I have all the latest news and charts for you on La Palma and the Canary Island chain, and we're going to break it all down right here, right now. Here we go. My friends, welcome back. It is October 20th, 2021, 8:41 a.m., and you know exactly where we're going. And of course, the biggest news coming out of La Palma today is the biggest earthquake or explosion we've seen since the beginning of the eruption. And it's been hard to find a volcano that battles the stats that this thing has been producing. And what I mean by that is a constant uptick in situations, whether it comes to earthquakes or the seismic activity, the amount of lava, and the fact that experts are now saying and going back as far as 1585 to say that this eruption is the worst that we've had in over 400 years. One of the first things the National Geographic Institute did was ask people on the island to report if they had felt this quake, and boy did they. This quake took place at 2148 UTC, and I gotta say, it takes one look at the user reports to know that this was by far the strongest quake felt on the island. In fact, the very first posting right here says this quake is the strongest one I'd felt in La Palma's volcano episode. It does certainly seem like another episode of a show about this volcano. Another report says the most violent quake so far in the last few days. House shaking and creaking, barking dogs. When you actually get down into the island and take a look at the earthquakes that have taken place in just the past week alone, you see a gradual rise in the mid-4s, going up towards the closer to 5.0 earthquakes. All of these within the last 7 days. And again, as I said yesterday, these earthquakes are directly related to then later on eruptions. It's happened 3 days in a row. We've seen the biggest earthquake take place on the island, and in the user reports, these are sometimes described as shaking like a normal earthquake, and then other people report these as explosions or concussive type feelings. We know that volcanoes can produce all sorts of loud noises and sounds that can be registered and picked up by sensitive equipment. So I'm going to try to explain a few things in a nutshell really quick on this little chart here. You can see the La Palma volcano and its current status as of right now is erupting at a 4 out of 5. And just so you know, when they say that this is the worst eruption since 1585, they are saying this is the worst eruption in recorded history. We don't even have a date that talks about this volcano having erupted before 1585 for obvious reasons. But I want to take a look at this chart they put out on Volcano Discovery that kind of gives an explanation on how the flow of lava is working with the different vents and the two main volcanoes on the island. Now, by no means am I an expert with the flow of lava or how it works, but I have some basic ideas, and that's what I'm going to give you here. This chart has a lot of information on it, and if we're going to orient ourselves, kind of picture this area right here as the main erupting area that we've been dealing with. The lava's been flowing out and down towards the banana fields and touching the sea, so we could basically backtrack where this lava's been coming from. Obviously, we know its final stage is coming through the middle and up from underneath the volcano through the mouth, but before that, it needs to travel to the volcano in a few different ways. One of those ways being the deep magma. As you can see in this part of the chart here, this is coming from the deep center part of the earth. And then we have what relates more to what we're talking about here, and that's the earthquakes. So some of these earthquakes actually are letting us know the path that the lava is taking to get to the volcano. And during that travel, it causes collapses and things of that nature, which are part of why we see these earthquakes and when we eventually see eruptions after those big quakes. My friends, let's not forget also that we're dealing with a situation where we don't know the outcome. Just because we've had volcanoes in the past doesn't mean that we know exactly what this volcano is going to do, even when it comes to experts. So the best idea is to monitor all these situations. Definitely listen to people who live around that island to get accurate reporting, which is what I do on a daily basis. All my info basically comes from boots on the ground that have verified information or have said it themselves, and we can only hope that they are reporting accurate information. But we can also make our own educated guesses as well, because we're all smart enough to do that. Friends, I want to thank you all for taking the time to watch this video. It's going to be a long next couple days for this volcano. I can can tell you that right now based off of the seismic activity, and I will be here to report it all to you each and every time. Shout out to Canada. I hope you all have a great day. Take care. Bye-bye. Stop right there, my friends. If you have not already, click that subscribe button and don't forget to hit the bell icon. Click all and you will get all notifications from this channel. And trust me, you won't be disappointed.